I'm Marci.
And I'm Noah.
We grew up watching Disney Channel, and every few months a new Disney Channel original movie, or DCOM, would be released.
Since we were kids, we would love to spend those nights getting snacks and enjoying new and sometimes relatable movies on our favorite channel.
Well, we're not really kids anymore, but we decided we wanted to revisit our younger selves by rewatching all 110 DCOMs, and we want you to join us for the nostalgia.
So every Friday, we're sharing our thoughts and feelings on the DCOM of the week. So join us, the DCOM kids, as we rewatch Jumping Ship. I'm going to say that one's good.
That one was...
It wasn't perfect. Oh, I hit the wrong button there. It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good.
Pretty good.
And honestly, we got to get rolling here. So
Yeah.
I didn't look down. Did you look down? Did you look
down
at your
what?
at the script? Did you look down at the script?
No.
Ah, good. Me either.
Oh, I think I glanced when it was on your camera.
Okay, see, that's fine, I think. If we're reading in between our parts, it's
Yeah.
fine. As long as we're not looking during, it's great.
Can you see
Good
my
job.
eyes that much with my glasses if I just look down like that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Well, you'll have to tell me
Eye movements are
editing
pretty big. It doesn't even matter because we're not going to go back through and undo any of that. So it's fine. We're just going to go with
I
it.
might have looked down once.
That's okay. I'm not mad about it. Right on. So I got to figure out what hand to hold the phone in because it's a little awkward. I guess I don't really need that on right here with me right now. So, alrighty, guys. As we said in the intro, I rewatched Jumping Ship like 2 minutes ago. Marci rewatched it probably a week ago.
A week ago, and then I rewatched it to like refresh a couple days ago. So
yeah. So what's funny, I literally was on a plane for 6 hours, 4 hours. I had plenty of time to watch this movie and get the notes written before today. I just forgot.
Yeah. It happens to the best of us. You know?
Yeah, but we're here.
You were on short vacation mode, so
Kinda, yeah. But I was also like on work mode because like
you did
the whole point, not really the whole point, because majority of the purpose of that trip was to go be with mom for her birthday.
Yeah.
But like also getting content put out was
Yeah.
part of it. So like I should have been in a work mindset still, but I don't know.
But I mean,
Low key, I think
you
the reason
were in a work mode, but it was just like you have 4 different work modes.
Yeah, that's true.
And so you
There's
were
a lot
in
going
one
on.
instead of
I was
3.
Yeah, exactly.
the last one.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. Well, yeah, so we rewatched Jumping Ship. This film was released in 2001 and was written by Chad and Carrie W. Hayes. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to see the cast here. There we go. That'll work.
I was gonna say if you tap on it and then zoom in, you can see it.
Yeah, that's
how
good enough.
That's
I'll
how
just
I
turn
always
this
did it.
sideways. Right on. Do you want to begin? I think I usually start with the cast, so I'll let you go ahead and start.
Okay. Starting off, we have Andrew Lawrence playing Tommy Biggs.
Joey Lawrence played Michael Woods.
Matthew Lawrence played Jake Hunter.
Susan Walters played Julie Biggs. Jules Biggs. I do that every time. Julie. I think every time I see a name with a J-U, my brain automatically auto-completes it to Jules. Because what was it, last movie?
Mm-hmm.
Was it the last movie?
With Hounded?
Hounded? Yeah. Yes, because it was the mom, the principal's wife.
Yes.
Her name was like...
Andrea.
No, the principal's wife was not named Andrea. It started with a J. Maybe it wasn't the principal's wife. I'm thinking of something else.
It wasn't.
I have to go back and look now. Way to go.
Yeah.
You did that.
You did that. That was my fault. Geneva.
Oh, good Lord. I've panicked a little bit because I just saw a note in here that says Jumping Ship in parentheses Noah's version. And I'm like, did I already write the entire script and forgot that I did? No, I just put everything in there already, like the cast and everything.
I see.
Which is probably why the directors and everything sound so familiar.
Because I
already wrote it down.
Yeah.
Okay, because that was tripping me up. Where are we? Oh, well, I don't know where the note is, so... Oh, there it is. I got it.
Okay, I was going to say, I have it right here.
Oh, never mind. It wasn't Jules at all. It was Eliza, and I kept saying Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Way to kill a whole bunch of stupid time, Noah.
I was like, I know it was like you extended her name.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was.
But you did say
Jules
Julie.
Biggs. Yeah, but this time I did say Julie.
I
like using long form of names, not short form. I don't know. It's fine. So that was Susan Walters. Sorry, go ahead.
Next we have Stephen Burley playing Glenn Woods.
Jamie, it's hyphenated. Pat. Is that Passier Armstrong?
Yeah.
Played Jonas.
Todd Warden played Mark Sanders.
Martin. Is that his real name?
I don't know, but that's funny.
Martin Dinglewall played Dante.
Anthony Brandon Wong played Frakes.
Oh. I didn't know what they were saying. And Carly Movizio played... Movizio. There's another I there? There is. Played Heather Hitt.
Yes.
The supermodel.
Do you want to read this?
I will, because I'm going to pull it out of my other note because I'm pretty sure I wrote it better.
Okay.
Yeah. Michael Lang's direction, Phil Marshall's music, cinematography led by David Burr, and editing from the dynamic duo of Benjamin D. Stokes and Terry Stokes brought this magnificent film to life, and we loved every moment of it. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Every moment? Maybe not every moment, but probably most of them.
I can't think of a moment I didn't love.
I could think of moments that I didn't hate.
Okay.
We'll get to it at the end, but there's parts where I'm like, it's not that the scene itself was bad. It's not that it was bad or anything. It's
you
just
felt like we didn't need it?
Or it was just like, that was the whole scene. And I'm like, okay. Well, we'll kind of get into that at the end.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Disney Plus summary. That is me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. And it's first-class adventure for Michael and his cousin when they charter a private yacht for a fun-filled cruise off the coast of Australia, until the yacht turns out to be a broken-down fishing boat complete with a rusting hull. When they find themselves being chased by modern-day pirates, their only option is to jump ship with the boat's captain. That was a period. With the boat's captain. Stranded on an island without any of the conveniences of home, these three castaways must work together if they hope to survive and be rescued.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Summarized in a short paragraph accurately.
They only use Michael's name.
Yeah, I think that is kind of funny.
It feels wonky, but whatever.
Oh, okay. My brain went a little flat on me for a second because I wrote something in your line that when we were going over the cast list, I was like, did I write the wrong name down? But it's fine. I think it's a not millennial, but like it's our generation kind of thing. You'll get it.
I'll get it when I get there.
Okay. Let us begin.
Ready?
Yes.
The boys are back. The Lawrence boys, that is. Matthew and Andy Lawrence reprise their roles as cousins Michael and Tommy in their Seaward adventure. As the film begins, we learn Michael and Tommy are preparing for a trip to Australia, where they will spend several days together. As they firm up a new addition to their plan, we get our first glance at their neighbor Mark, who Tommy clearly had some negative feelings about.
Me. We jump to Michael's house in California, where he is waiting in the pool. Here, Michael's dad, Glenn, confronts him about his trip being more expensive than Michael had originally estimated. At this point, we learn Michael has invited his girlfriend to join him and Tommy, but Glenn is not as okay with it with the extra cost as Michael had hoped. Glenn then informs Michael that his time as a freeloader is running out and he either has to find a job or one will be assigned to him.
Back on the Briggs Ranch, Mark offers a gift to Tommy as a going away present, but is sorry, something happened.
I didn't do it. That wasn't my fault. I can't be blamed for that.
Okay, no, I touched something and I lost my place. Okay.
All right.
But is dismissed by Tommy. Shortly after, Jules approaches to have a conversation where Tommy expresses his lack of interest in Mark's friendliness. Jules can't seem to understand what Tommy is upset about, as Mark is just a good guy being a good neighbor. That's when Tommy explains that Mark clearly likes Jules, And Jules breaks the news to Tommy that they have mutual feelings. That the feeling is mutual, sorry. Okay. But no one will ever replace Tommy's dad.
It's all good. You get those new glasses and you'll be fine.
I'll be fine next week or two.
Arriving in a gold color limo, Tommy and Michael, dressed exactly the same, take the opportunity to snap a trendy photo in front of the many boats docked nearby. Just then, a woman accidentally bumps into Michael and, without being caught, steals his wallet. The two cousins walk down the pier to board their boat, Tiffany, which turns out to be a large yacht.
Entering the boat, Michael begins making demands for the boat hand to stow their luggage and bring them some sodas, but are informed they have boarded the wrong boat. On their way to the real Tiffany, we see an old raggedy boat, and we are introduced to Captain Jake Hunter, the third Lawrence brother who will be joining us for the remainder of this journey. He gives Tommy and Michael a tour of their vessel.
For those of you in the back who missed that little joke, I'm just going to quickly explain it in a short couple sentences. So, was that? Oh, crap.
Jack Hunter.
No, Lawrence. Which Lawrence is it? Matthew?
Matthew
Lawrence. Thank you. Starred from season 6 and 7.
I'm not sure.
Maybe 5, 6, and 7. It's the last 3 seasons, I think, of Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
He is in the last 3 seasons of Boy Meets World as Jack Hunter, Sean Hunter's
brother.
Well, long lost brother, basically.
Yeah.
And so I just thought it was hilarious that in this movie they named him Jake Hunter. Yeah. So it's literally like 2 letters off from being the exact same character name.
Yeah.
Even though the 2 characters couldn't be any more different, actually, because Jack Hunter is rich.
Yeah.
Jake Hunter is not.
Yes. Yeah.
Any hoozle. As they set sail, Captain Jake. That's why his name's not Jack. That's why his name's not Jack in the movie. Because then it'd be Captain Jack. No, he's Jake in the movie.
Oh.
That's why his name's not Jack. Because then he'd be Captain Jack. So he's Captain
That makes sense.
Jake.
That makes sense. Okay.
I don't know if that's why, but okay. Captain Jake asks Michael to pay the remainder of their fee. At this point, Michael discovers his wallet was stolen and suddenly remembers the woman who bumped into him. Michael and Tommy then report to the cockpit to discuss a resolution with Jake and is asked to give him his watch as collateral. After his dad agrees to wire them the money to the island they're sailing to, Tommy requests to start fishing.
While fishing, Michael makes a phone call to try to land a job with a company opening a music division. After wrestling his fishing rod and losing the cell phone, Jake informs the boys that they are about to hit some rough waters, so they need to stop fishing. Next on the waves, Michael becomes seasick and tosses his cookies overboard. An old blister opens up on Tommy's hand, and he goes to see if Jake has a bandage, and Tommy sees a strange item in a box on Jake's desk. A few moments later, Jake shares about the item with Tommy. The item is called a
sextant,
and he found it with his dad while diving. They used to find all kinds of stuff while diving. Sorry.
No worries. While our friends enjoy a good conversation, the pickpocket and her goons discover Michael's credit card has no limit. Back on the Tiffany, Jake shares about the pirates in the area with Michael and Tommy, but reassures Tommy the vessel isn't the kind of boat that pirates target. In the restroom, Michael finds seasick patches Jake claimed not to have, but is informed that he asked for pills. Michael is clearly beginning to feel jealous of how well Tommy and Jake are getting along.
The next morning, Michael is on yet another phone call with a potential employer. Tommy expresses his displeasure with Michael constantly being on the phone, and Michael surrenders his phone to Tommy, who promptly drops it in the ocean. While they take a photo, the pirates quickly approach the Tiffany. Once Jake sees them, he begins attempting to escape and calls for the patrol calls for the patrol to come and assist. When they don't receive a response, Jake tries to outmaneuver the pirates, but one of them is able to jump onto the ship. Jake punts them off and begins to formulate a plan to stop the other one. Throwing a hook onto their boat, he punctures the inflatable boat, stopping it in its tracks.
After building a decent gap, Jake tells Tommy and Michael that they have to hide on the nearby island, while he attempts to shake off the pirates. The two cousins put on life jackets and dive into the water and begin swimming to the island. Michael wakes up on the beach to a crab snapping in his face and locates Tommy. The pirates discover the life jackets and Jake's mug and determine that they ditched the boat, so they must locate them. While waiting for help, Michael and Tommy attempt to catch fish using sharpened bamboo and build a shelter on the shoreline. After admiring their new view, it begins to storm.
After 3 days, Michael and Tommy are yet unsuccessful in catching any fish. Tommy admits he could go for one of Mark's fish sandwiches. He then explains to Michael that Mark is a guy Jules likes, but he doesn't. Next, Michael decides they will try to find bananas, which they do, but are preventing from harvesting any by a giant bird. While recovering from the fall, Tommy finds a large tree stump covered with a tiki face. They decide to explore the cave behind it. While contemplating whether they should move their camp into the cave, Michael slips into a giant hole and is nearly swallowed up by the mysterious cavern.
Upon exiting the cave, they hear a monster and decide to make a run for it. Just then, Jake jumps out and scares them. Jake later confesses that he had to sink the boat, but Michael's suitcase washed up. Michael realizes his phone was in the suitcase, at which point Tommy reveals the truth, and it fell in the ocean. This sparks a fight between Jake and Michael, leading to Michael going off on his own while Tommy follows Jake for food and water.
Michael falls into a pool of mud, trying to rough it on his own, resulting in a very large lizard laughing at him. Michael runs to the beach to rinse off and passes out on the beach. He then wakes up to a famous supermodel finding him, and they are saved. They fall in love, and suddenly Michael is awoken by a squealing pig, and of course, it was all a dream.
Okay, I just love that part with like the what is it called? Not a water moccasin. What's it called? The giant lizard thing. It's not.
I don't know.
I don't think it was a Komodo dragon, but it's like the same
same family.
Yeah, but it's funny because he falls in the mud and like runs away. And that thing's like sitting on the mud, goes ah ah ah.
Yeah,
And I'm like, that's funny.
It's funny.
Whoops, that one. Okay. We return to Camp Jake, where Jake shares his parents got divorced when he was young, and that is why him and his dad ended up chartering a boat. Tommy then opens up to Jake about his mom's like for Mark. Just then, Jake shares that his father passed away just over a year and a half ago, and he feels he can still hear his dad on the boat. Tommy explains the bench he built with his dad back on their ranch, where he feels the same way. The scene fades out, and we get a glimpse of the pirates still searching for Tommy and Michael.
All alone, Michael falls from a tree, successfully snagging a banana from the tree. When he thinks Tommy and Jake have come to check up on him, he is chased away by an emu. We cut to Tommy and Jake finding Tommy's bag on the shore, where Tommy discovers the gift
Mark.
Sorry. Okay, yeah.
That was an autocorrect thing.
Discovers the gift Mark gave him ended up in his bag, and his mood towards Mark begins to change. Later, Jake teaches Tommy how to properly spearfish. While catching him, That's his coaching. While coaching him, Michael sees them. Just then, he spots a crocodile heading straight for them. He yells to them to get out of the water, and they run back to the shore. Jake then invites Michael to return to their camp with them.
We then get a quick reminder that the pirates are still looking for Michael and Tommy, just in case you forgot. Tommy begins to lament about the possibility of them never being found and how he wishes his mom knew how much he liked Mark. Michael reassures Tommy that it's okay to like Mark and that no one will ever replace his dad, but Mark doesn't want to replace him. The next morning, the group climbs to the highest point on the island and finds a sturdy tree for their raft. But how will they get it back? They're going to swim back with it. Nah, not for real. They just carried it down the mountain. We then break into a montage of the guys building the raft, catching crabs, and just swimming in the ocean.
As the montage ends, Michael and Tommy see a plane in the sky, and Michael launches their only flare in an attempt to get its attention. But there's a problem. Well, two problems, actually. The plane flying over was a jetliner flying at 35,000 feet, so there's no way they would ever see them. The other problem is that the pirates saw the flare and now know exactly where to find Michael and Tommy. Michael and Jake get into a fight where Michael confesses he's never worked for anything in his life, and he is ashamed he doesn't have the experience Jake and Tommy have.
While collecting some seaweed to make a rope for the raft, Tommy and Jake discover the pirates have made it to their island. The leader of the pirates tells the two henchmen to circle the island while he checks out the island. I just put island so many times in that sentence. Tommy and Jake rush back to Michael, and they all jump onto the raft and set sail, hoping they aren't doomed already. Just as they get the sail unrolled, the pirates arrive and shoot a flare through their... sail.
Their sail?
Setting it on fire.
Their flare string.
Tommy's life jacket gets stuck on him, and he is unable to dive under the water to hide from the pirates and is captured. One of the pirates dives under the water to look for Jake and Michael, but is unsuccessful. The pirates put Tommy to work mopping up their boat and plan to torture Tommy to draw Michael out of hiding.
While discussing a plan to get Tommy back, Jake admits to Michael that he hated the boat but held on to it and loved it because his dad loved it. On the shore, the pirates and Michael meet to discuss a trade that could earn the pirates millions. The pirates agree to free Tommy, and if the gold is really where Michael says it is, they'll let him free. Michael leads the pirates deep into the island's luscious forest. Tommy and Jake steal the pirates' inflatable boat. Michael leads the pirates into the cave he and Tommy found when they first got to the island. While trying to distract the pirates, Michael throws them down the pit almost...
The pit that he
almost fell into before, but only the female pirate falls all the way in, leaving the leader able to climb out and begin chasing Michael. Now with the stolen boat, Jake plans to leave Michael on the island and will come back for him later, but Tommy talks him into getting Michael first.
Jake yells to Tommy to go to Jake yells to Michael to go to Everest, the hill they had planned to dive from, to bring the tree back to their camp. Once there, Michael jumps into the water and swims to his escape. Just as he's getting away, the pirate leader tries to shoot Michael for the first time, even though he had ample opportunity for the past 5 minutes, but his gun is now full of mud and won't shoot. Michael climbs onto the boat and the crew sail away to safety. Jake calls the patrol to pick up the now stranded pirates, and the boys return to their waiting families on a dock. Tommy apologizes to his mom for being so rude to Mark, and they invite Jake to invite Jake to dinner with them. Michael then buys the pirates' boat with their reward money for helping catch the pirates, and renames it Tiffany 2, and announces the three guys now own a charter business together, and Jake is symbolically part of the family. And that's jumping ship.
Abridged.
Abridged, yes. If it's not detailed enough for you, Go watch the movie.
Go watch the movie. They'll be like, hey, they never mentioned that.
Exactly. Gives fills in all the blanks. Exactly. I breeze over a lot of things, leave out a lot of details, sometimes get details wrong. My bad.
Sometimes switch them up.
Like they did not steal the inflatable boat. They disabled the inflatable boat and stole the big boat.
Yeah.
I wrote that part before they actually stole the boat. I just saw what was kind of happening, and I made a guess. I was wrong,
enough.
but I kind of need that a little bit just to keep track of my show notes because they're not what I thought they were. Well, they are, but whatever. It's fine. What was your favorite scene in this movie, Marci?
There's a lot of really good ones.
So many.
I like when they first meet Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That like initial. The three amigos. It's the brothers. Yeah. That's a good scene.
And I don't like how quick they are to judge each other.
Right.
Because like Michael's like, you're just a kid. You can't sail this boat. What?
Right. Basically.
It's like, you're not that much younger than me.
Right.
I think he's supposed to be older in the movie, but
he wasn't the same character, but he was in the first movie in Horse Sense.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
As like a quick little cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also really like when Michael is like he's like holding Tommy up to get the bananas
and the emu
and the
pops
emu
out.
Just like
I like that scene too. That's a good one.
Yeah.
What was your favorite scene? I liked that one too.
That was my favorite one too.
Sorry, we were talking about Dora earlier. It just popped into my head. That's right funny. Then. Probably one of my favorite scenes, and it's because it's like the scene that is like in my head the most often from the movie is when Jake is teaching Tommy how to spearfish.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that specific scene is the part that I think about first when I think about the movie. Okay. That and when they're physically jumping off the boat. You know, because jumping ship makes sense that's the first part that comes to mind. But I think my favorite scene is like basically all the moments between Tommy and Jake when they're like kind of slowly like revealing their family's dark past and whatever. Like, my dad died a year and a half ago. My dad's been died for years.
My dad's been died
and all that stuff. Like I really like that. Like my favorite is when Jake is talking about how he feels like he can hear his dad on the boat still, and Tommy's like, "Well, I have a bench back on my ranch that I built with my dad, and I feel like I can. That's where I hear him. Yeah, that's probably my favorite one of all of their.
That's the one where they like really connect.
Yeah,
for sure.
Super good. Yeah. Do you have a least favorite scene? It doesn't mean it. See, the thing with the least favorite scene is it doesn't mean it was a bad scene.
Right.
It just means like you're like, yeah, that one was
moving the story along.
Yeah, didn't really do a whole lot. Didn't hurt the story, just didn't really push it anywhere. There's gonna be times where we get to a scene where we're gonna be like, nah, this was trash. This didn't need to be in the movie. But
for sure,
we're not there yet.
We're not there.
None of that's happening so far.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. I don't know.
I'm getting slap happy when you just hurry up so I can go to bed.
Maybe like one of the second or third time that we see the pirates still looking for.
Yeah.
The
super
guys,
unsuccessfully.
But yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
yes, we know you can't
guys.
find them. But also you were following them and there's only one island.
Yeah. Well,
close.
I feel like there was a lot. They just.
Yeah.
It's hard to know because they never actually pan around to show you how many islands there are. So
it was probably the one island.
Yes, in reality.
In reality.
But it's like one of those things like the Maldives, okay? Mm-hmm. How many islands do you think are in the Maldives? Just spitball.
I would say like 5 or 6.
That's cute. It's 100 times that.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yes, there's over 600 islands that are considered the Maldives. So,
okay,
that's kind of where I'm like, sure.
Yeah, I can understand the confusion.
For sure. So, my thing was just like, my thing wasn't that we're like, yes, there's pirates and they're looking for these guys. It was that they're like, okay, story. By the way, there's pirates, story. By the way, there's pirates, story. And I'm like, give me a little bit more. Like why is the scenes with the pirates before they actually get to the island? Each scene with the pirates is like 4 lines, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, let me get in here a little bit more because this is annoying.
Yeah, because like you first meet, what was her name?
Jonas,
yes. You meet Jonas, and it's literally just her sitting at the table, sees Michael get out of the limo, and then she's like,
I thought it was
okay,
Roxanne for a minute, I'm not going to lie.
Roxanne?
Yeah, his girlfriend.
Oh,
Michael's girlfriend. Because
yes,
they're supposed to meet.
I did too.
So she's sitting over there, and
I did too.
I was like getting a little lost in that.
Yeah.
And she stands up and then runs into him, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's the way that he's going to keep Tommy from getting upset at him.
Yes.
Because she'd bumped into him,
Yes.
and they're like, I just happened to be here.
I thought the same thing, and then I was like,
and then
she
has the wallet, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I know that Roxanne is not in the rest of the movie, so like,
yeah,
it would have been weird if she ended up there.
Yeah.
Where did she go?
Yeah.
But
no, I definitely thought the same thing.
That was what I was
thinking
at first.
When I first saw her. I was like, I don't remember Roxanne being actually being in the movie.
Right.
And then
that happened. You're like, that's because she's not.
It's because she's not. She's not.
There you go.
But
okay.
yeah, and then when they're on the boat and they she hands him the wallet and he's like, oh, platinum cards, not a lot of cash. And then he's like, Malibu, we can kidnap him and ask for a lot of ransom.
Right.
And that's their whole plan. That's why they're chasing them down.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly.
I wasn't fully clear on how they knew which boat they were on, though.
My assumption, because I didn't know either, but my assumption was just that they walked by them.
Yeah.
They walked by the pirates.
Yeah.
On their way to the Tiffany, and I'm assuming they just watched them get on it.
That was my assumption too, but I was like, it's a big harbor. I don't know.
Unless he happened to have something in his wallet that identified what boat they were getting on, or
I guess, I don't know.
Maybe they could look at the credit card statements and see, I don't know.
Yeah. But
my assumption was that they just literally watched him get on.
Okay.
That was the one piece where I was like, I'm just going to choose that is the truth, because otherwise I'm never going to figure it out. And because there is no answer. They didn't know.
Yeah.
Without watching them step on, they didn't know.
Yeah.
Unless, I guess, no, I was going to say unless they overheard on the radio, on the radio call with Jake.
Jake.
If they overheard on a radio call with Jake, but he never mentions that they're on the boat. All he says is that I can't go lobster diving because I have a charter.
Yeah. He doesn't say their names or anything.
Yeah.
So.
And if this guy's rich, that's the thing. They had to have watched him get on, because if they were just guessing, they never would have got the right boat, because they would not have assumed this guy who's clearly worth about $1 billion would be getting on the crap boat.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know.
Final question. How do you think it held up? I think it held up pretty well. I think it
held up really well.
The nice thing about this movie taking place mostly on an island is there's not a lot of technology things that are weird, or there's no old school technology. And because it's basically between 3 people the whole time, there's no super weird dialogue that doesn't age well. Everything was pretty much spot on. It was good. It could happen today and be okay.
And be great. Yeah.
I guess the oldest piece of technology is this flip phone with this weird earpiece that has satellite connectivity capabilities. And I'm like, phones nowadays barely even have that. What the heck?
It's it's got satellite connectivity. We can call somebody. And then Tommy's like, nah, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you for bringing that up. Because I just have to say something.
Go for it.
He got all upset at Tommy because the phone fell in the ocean. Right?
Yes.
Where was his suitcase when they got to the island? How did they get the suitcase?
It
washed up on shore.
That was my thing too.
Ain't no way that suitcase is watertight.
I was like, it would have.
Suitcases today aren't watertight.
Yeah. I was like, it would have gotten destroyed.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, don't get mad at Tommy. That thing was never going to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're dumb for thinking it would.
Yeah. I would say that part of the dialogue was
that made me mad.
That part made me mad, because I was like,
it was.
How stupid are you?
Yeah. I'm like, that was never going to work. That was never going to work.
Unless you have a bag of rice in that bag.
Which I guess maybe they did. But let's face it, this is 2001. I feel like the bag of rice is more like 2009 era. I don't know.
No, because you could still put your phone in a bag of rice. It's just because it absorbs the moisture.
I mean, yeah, but people weren't thinking about doing that in 2001, I don't think.
That's true.
I don't know. That was the only
Oh my
part of the
God.
movie where I'm like, excuse me, sir.
My brain, when you said 2009, was like, that was so much longer before 2001. What are you talking about?
Did your brain go like
I went,
1999?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Because I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean that was 2009?
Do you ever think about the fact that like you're like 2009? You're like, that wasn't that long ago, and then you think about it, and you're like,
You
that
think
was
about it?
actually
That was
kind of
a
long.
long
That was
time.
like, we're starting to get close to
That
it being
was-
20 years
yeah.
ago. Whack.
Wow.
Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. Last question.
Yes.
Rating out of 5 stars.
5. $4.5.
Okay, I was gonna say, can I have a 4.5 on this one?
We can do 4.5.
Just
Yes.
I don't know. Like I just don't like giving anything
The
5 stars. Well, it's because I was like, I'm just gonna go with whatever you say, and then you said 5, and I'm like, okay, not that.
Not that.
Basically, yeah, I don't know. I like to save the 5s for things that are that like creme de la creme, and this one's not creme de la creme, but it's like creme de la.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It could have been better. Could have been so much worse, but it could have been better.
Mhm.
I think just a little. I don't know.
What would you have changed?
I would have liked to see more of the pirates. Just a little
Yeah.
bit. A little bit more information on what was actually going on
Yeah.
with those guys.
Why
just
are
the,
they
just the little
pirates?
3-line pop in was really annoying.
Yeah.
Especially because like the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the second one pretty far apart.
Yeah.
Second one and third one a little bit closer. Third one and the fourth one got a lot closer, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this is telling me that we're about to get the pirates as
Mhm.
an issue.
Yeah.
The frequency of their appearances
Yeah.
is picking up, so they've got to
Mhm.
be coming soon. Also, I was like, we're 30 minutes away from the end of this movie, and I haven't seen the pirates catch them yet, so we got to be getting
You gotta
there.
be there. Yeah.
That's the only. That's probably the only thing I would have changed is
Okay.
add a little bit more to
Add
the
a little
pirates.
More pirates.
Yeah, make them a little bit more. They don't need to be like compelling, feel bad for them characters, but I would like to know a little bit more about what they're
Why?
planning.
Yeah.
What is that? What is their goal here?
Yeah.
Not just like we got to get them.
Like their
Oh, I'm
whole,
gonna backhand you because you let them get away.
their whole thing with like when they have Tommy captured and stuff, they're like telling their plan right in front of Tommy.
Right.
You're like, that doesn't what?
I don't know. I didn't.
All the bad guys
I
do
want
that
more.
though.
They
so,
do.
Like,
They always give their plan to the guy they captured because there's
Yeah.
no way he's getting away, and then he almost
and
always does.
And then he does. Yep.
Or she, he or
They.
she, they,
He, they, them.
whomever may be captured,
Or
almost
she's.
always gets away. I don't know if you can say that.
No, like chocolate. Hershey's chocolate.
Oh, I could go for some Hershey's right now.
That was my joke.
We should
'cause
go
I
get
said-
some after we get done here. We'll go get a bag. Some chocolate.
Some chocolate.
Anyway.
I love chocolate.
Do you have anything any final remarks you'd like to make on this film?
No, that's
Okay.
great. I would give
Sounds
it 5
good.
stars, but
We'll settle on 4.5.
we'll settle on 4.5.
Actually, I really like 4.5 for this. It's
Okay.
a very solid spot for it to sit, I think.
Sure. We'll have
Nothing's
to
gonna
go
beat
through and,
Xenon.
like-
That's why we gave it a 10. It's physically
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah.
Did we give Horse Sense 5 stars?
Mhm.
There's no pirates in Horse Sense that I wanted to get more information on. Sorry. Give me more pirates. If you're gonna put
Okay.
pirates in the movie, like give me more pirates. Like at least have them drinking rum or something.
This is supposed to be a kids movie.
Okay, but make it a bottle instead of rum.
I guess-
it's a bottle that says yum on the side.
I guess they do have Michael kissing Heather Hit though. So.
And he's drinking an undescribed beverage when they're
Yeah.
on the boat that
Yeah.
looks like a cerveza of some kind.
Mhm. That word.
It means alcoholic beverage
Okay.
in Espanol.
You know,
I think.
Espanol.
Anyway.
Adriana will fact check it.
Yeah, she will. I'll hear about it in a couple of days. No worries. Well, thank you
Uh.
guys so much for joining us, the DCOM kids, while we talked about Jumping Ship. We hope you found it compelling and informative. And if you are confused by anything we've talked about, go watch it on Disney Plus. All you got to do is search for Jumping Ship on Disney Plus. It's the one with the Lawrence brothers, and it's a really good movie.
It
I
is
really
really
like
good.
the Lawrence brothers.
Mhm.
I can't think of anything that I was about to just say, but follow Noah Parker's World of Wonder on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
Yes.
Yep, those are the ones. And of course, you know, this podcast is available Friday mornings at 6 a.m. on all major podcast platforms, or as a video version at 6 a.m. That's all Mountain Time on YouTube. If you're listening and you want the video version, you can head over to youtube.com/Noah Parker _channel. Subscribe over there, follow the podcast wherever you're following, and join us next week for the Poof Point. Because until then, y'all is going to want to let the wonders take hold.